What's up, guys? Jeff with Grid City Fitness and Performance, and today we've got a daily fuel. And this daily fuel is on the topic of the stories that you're telling yourself. And we've had a daily fuel similar to this, but this is a little bit different. What this one is about is the stories that are playing in your head that are building these movies and pictures and images that you believe are true, that hold you back from your potential or taking action on the things that you need to be taking, right? So a great example of this is if you've ever had to have a conversation with a friend or a family member, and this conversation was something that you thought was going to go a certain way. And you've built this picture of, they're going to get mad, they're going to yell, they're going to flip a desk, they're going to throw something, they're going to completely disown you, they're never going to have a conversation with you again, and they're going to hate you for the rest of your life. But once you realize that, or once you take action and have that conversation, it's 1/10 of the magnitude that you've built it up to be in your head, right? We build these stories because these stories are what we're used to working off of. Stories are how we've grown. The Bible is a story that has passed on number of lessons to people that have now built more stories and more lessons, right? So because that's the oldest story in the world, it's a great use of an idea, right? But we build these stories. And these stories that we build in your head are basically movies, right? We see these pictures of what's going to happen, how it's going to go, all the potentials and all the things that could go wrong or different or not the way we want. But really what it is just Steven Spielberg is inside your head creating this grand movie for you. But in reality, it's nothing more than a 12-year-old playing on his iPhone for shooting a video for YouTube. There's quite a difference, right? If you watch a Steven Spielberg movie, it's grand, it's crazy, it's cinematic, there's tons of stuff going on. It's 2.5 hours of action-packed, non-stop shit. And that's what we play in our heads. But the reality is, it's a 2-minute clip of a 12-year-old playing on a scooter that he films and puts on YouTube. That's the reality of the story that you're telling yourself, right? So when you let yourself get blocked by a story that's in your head, all you're doing is letting the story or the movie that's playing block you from understanding the true reality and the true outcomes. So another great example of this is, oftentimes we tell ourselves these stories that we can't go hang out with our friends at a bar or a restaurant because when we do, they're going to ask you a ton of questions. They're going to ask you 21 questions. They're going to pressure you into having a drink or eating bad food. They're not going to want to hang out with you because you have a piece of chicken and broccoli and they have a burger and fries, right? You tell yourself these stories and then it blocks you from then going and hanging out with your friends. It blocks you from wanting to go and have a social life. It blocks you from being able to stick on your diet because you think all these other things, these stories, these movies that are playing in your head are true. But in reality, if you got rid of the story in your brain and you went and hung out with your friend and you followed through with what you were supposed to do, the reality is this. Your friend would probably ask you 1 or 2 questions. Oh, why'd you get the chicken and broccoli? Oh, because I'm on a diet and I want to achieve my goals. Oh, awesome. What are your goals? What diet are you on? Those would be the questions. They're not going to disown you. They're not going to not hang out with you. They're not going to pressure you. Right? So you've built a story in your head so elusive and grand that it literally blocks you from being able to be successful in any outcome that you want because you're letting the reality be dictated by a movie or a story, right? So if you can change the stories in your brain, you can change the reality and actually allow yourself to go and live in reality versus living in the story world. So that's your daily fuel for today, guys. The movie that's playing in your head is a Steven Spielberg film. And the reality is your life is a 12-year-old version or 12-year-old YouTube video playing on a scooter, right? So the reality of all these outcomes and actions and thoughts that are blocking you are nothing bigger than a kid filming on YouTube. But we put ourselves in stories like Steven Spielberg creating Star Wars. All right, so that's it, guys. Daily fuel. Stop letting your stories dictate your actions and decisions and start living in reality and knowing that what you build in your head is nowhere near what it is in reality. Take care, guys.